Let's start with the worst project up on the chopping block today, just get it out of the way, and that's She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. Except, like, there's more PG sex scenes and dates at Chili's here than there are Law. So, Attorney at Chili's, I guess? Whatever. She-Hulk kinda fucking blows. Literally. This is by far one of my least favorite things Marvel has made. A protagonist that uses all of her power to make you hate her right in the first episode. I don't want to go into too many spoilers, but this one kind of unimportant scene I'm gonna spoil. She's talking to Bruce, the guy who has a lot of Hulk experience, right after she got Hulkified, and Hulk tells her that she has to learn to control her anger, and she goes on this stupid ass rant. Like, I bet you've heard everyone talk about this a million times. She harasses the dude with probably the most traumatic past in the MCU. The MCU history, and literally says, "Yeah, Hulk, I know you've attempted suicide, you've been mind-trapped by a green monster on another planet for years, you were never allowed to seek love, but I got catcalled in the street earlier in this episode one time, and it really fucked me up, so I wouldn't talk to me about controlling anger." Like, what? Now, I'm not, like, trying to say harassing, sexualizing random women on the streets is fine and acceptable behavior. It isn't, but you cannot say that Hulk has had an easier time in his life than you. That is some grade A, grass-fed, large... I don't know, what area has the best eggs? Iowa bullshit. Anyways, the next thing I'd like to mention is, if the best part of your show is the guest appearances, I feel like you fucked up. Even from the marketing, why were people looking forward to the show? Because Daredevil, look, there he is!
There's my favorite white boy!
And the Daredevil episode was the best in the show. It was an actual enjoyable episode, and thank God they didn't fuck up Daredevil. He's the same good old Matt that we know and love. But outside of Matt, the other best parts of the show was Abomination's first appearance. I thought was pretty good. Wong had his moments. I mean, in Wong we trust. Like, there's this one clip from the show.
You can't wait to see Wong. I get it. I just want to make sure that you don't think this is one of those cameo every week type of shows. It's not.
Like, yeah, it actually is, Jennifer. That's exactly what the show is. The fourth wall breaking's pretty annoying because it's calling itself out, trying to be like, yeah guys, we're making a shitty show, but it's intentional that it's shitty. The CGI, it's intentional that that's shitty. The writing, that's intentional that that's not shitty. Just calling yourself off on being intentionally bad does not make it good. Like, it doesn't make it acceptable because you're calling yourself out on being bad. There's very few things that do fourth wall breaking right, and this is not one of them. Like, honestly, if I didn't know for certain that Matt Murdock would show up in this show, I probably would have tapped out by episode 5. The cameos were the only reason people showed up from week to week. While I will admit the last 2 episodes did pick up, and I can say I at least enjoyed the last few episodes 8 and 9, that is, the first 7 episodes are not good. They're so bad. And even the finale, like, I enjoyed it because it was at least trying to be creative, but it wasn't exactly good at it. I just kind of respect it for trying to do something different. But, like, every episode has the same format. 20 minutes of useless filler, and then 2 minutes of story that progresses the plot. 90% of the characters in the show are in one episode then forgot about. Like, there's Madison, the magic guy that pisses off Wong, Leapfrog, Titania. Like, what actually happened? What the fuck happened with Titania? What was the point of her in the show? She sues She-Hulk and then just kind of disappears. She does nothing. I don't know why she was in this show. And more, they're just there to fill up the show's runtime because they couldn't figure out something to do that was interesting towards the bigger story for 25 minutes. Overall, while this show has its moments and does pick up towards the end, it's still pretty damn bad. And I'm thinking 20 out of 100 on the Slosh scale, and would place it around here on the official MCU tier list. On to project number 2 of today. Get in here, it's Halloween Ends. Just so you know, I kind of go on a rant here and will be spoiling major plot points, so yeah, I mean, you get what you get. Like most people, I loved Halloween 2018. It was really good. I didn't love Halloween Kills, but I thought it was goofy fun. I was hoping they would turn things around and give us another 2018 Halloween to end it off. They didn't exactly do that here, which is kind of upsetting. When you come to a Halloween movie, you expect Michael Myers to go over and slice that person's throat with his classic weapon, the kitchen knife, 20 to 30 times. In this movie, you get a rushed love at first sight plot where they turn Michael Myers into someone as weak as Joe Biden and have an anxiety-ridden teen replace him and go kill his high school bullies, who, I'm sorry, we need to talk about those kids, because What's up with those kids? Did they prepare for high school by watching way too many 90s sitcoms and just assume that's what high school's like? This movie takes place in 2022. I think, or at least after 2019. And these kids are trapped in the 90s. They dress like it, they act like it. It's pathetic because they would not be the kids bullying people nowadays. They would be the ones getting bullied. I know that because I would bully these fucking kids. But whatever, rant over back to how pathetic Michael is. I don't know what happened after the last movie, but he was kicking ass there. And somehow now he went to hide in a sewer and became super weak after like 4 years of no killing. How does that make any sense? Like what? Wasn't he in prison for like 40 years and got out at perfectly max strength? Why wasn't he like mega weak then? I just don't get it. You would assume at the end of this 40-year-old franchise, we would get this dope fucking Super Michael that was at his most powerful with like 4 limbs all wielding a like retractable fleshlight, and it would take all the might and brain power of our protagonist to best him. But no, Laurie just kind of tips a fridge on him and he just taps out to get thrown into a shredder. I'm not even joking. She tips a fridge on Michael and he is down for the count. In the last movie, didn't he actually get like brutally beaten up by like 40 guys and nothing happened? He has got up. Where is that Michael? And not only that, I feel like we just need more info on what happened between the last movie and this one, because there are so many loose ends. Wasn't Laurie hellbent on having Michael dead at the end of the last one? Why has she now just settled down in a nice home to become an author? How did Alice's mother dying affect her? She seems to have just forgotten she had a mother, and Laurie seems to have forgotten she had a daughter. Why did no one in this movie chant "Evil dies tonight" while chasing a 4'4", 300-pound mental insane patient? There were just too many questions. As someone who finds Halloween, the original, and the 2018 one to be great movies, this movie was kind of sad. Even though I like the premise of the shape of evil being something that moves through people, it really puts into meaning that it isn't Michael, it's the shape. The execution of this kind of ended up being a swing and a miss. So I'm sorry, Michael, but you get a 60 out of 100 on the Slosh scale, because even though the first half is a snooze fest, the second half at least is dumb fun with some cool kills, even if Michael's ending is sort of a letdown. Project number 3. Save the best for last, and best for last we did. It's Marvel's Werewolf by Night. Gonna be honest, I wasn't super excited for this one. The premise seemed weird and they were letting Michael Giacchino, I think that's how you say it, they let him direct it. And yes, that is the music guy. He's pretty good at music, but directing I wasn't sure. I'm excited to say I was wrong to be skeptical though. This thing fucking slaps. It really homages classic horror films with the black and white, and I don't want to say cheap, but for lack of a better word, cheap style. I was a fan of the main guy. Jack was an intriguing character, and my homeboy Ted should be the new face of the MCU. Move over, Iron Man. Me and my homies love Ted. My main complaint is I wish it was longer. Instead of 55 minutes, make this thing like an hour and 40 minutes and put it in theaters, because I would have liked it to slow down and explore things more. It's a very fast-paced project because it's trying to set up this whole mythology. It does very well in the amount of time it's given, but I feel like it could have done even better with even 20 extra minutes if you don't want to make it like a film. Overall though, I don't have too much to say about this one. Just wanted to talk about it because it proves that the MCU has the ability to be creative, and I wish stuff like this was more prevalent on Disney+. When they first announced the Disney+ shows, I assumed they would be the bigger risk, more inspired one-off, not super connected projects, while the films continue to be the bigger, grander, interconnected projects. Sadly, it has not been that exactly. The shows have been pretty safe for the most part, besides like Loki and WandaVision. Ironically, the 3 biggest risks Marvel has taken on Disney+, in my opinion, have been the best on Disney+. So massive credit to Werewolf by Night, and it's getting an 85 out of 100 on the Slosh scale, and would go about here on the official MCU tier list. Congrats, Michael.